Your character is a physical structure in your brain. You're building it right now with every choice you make. That's not metaphor. That is the neuroscience. For a long time, the belief was that the brain was basically fixed after childhood. Once you reached a certain age, that was it. Whatever wiring you had was the wiring you had to work with. If you wanted to change, you worked around your hardware. You did not rewire it. We now know that was wrong. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. Through neuroplasticity, the adult brain stays flexible. It is a living, shifting structure that rewires itself based on what you pay attention to and what you practice. The brain does not just respond to what you think. It responds to what you do. Hebb's law explains this clearly. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you have a thought or take an action, a specific network of neurons fires electrical signals across the synapses, the gaps between nerve cells. Repeat that thought or action, and the brain strengthens those connections. Over time, those pathways get insulated with a fatty layer called myelin. Myelin helps signals travel faster and more smoothly. The result is simple. It becomes easier to think that thought. It becomes easier to take that action. This means your choices are not just moral decisions. They are biological events. Your character is the trail of what you keep choosing. When you consistently direct your attention toward a behavior, you are not just trying to improve. You're building a fast highway in your brain that makes that behavior more automatic. And the more automatic it becomes, the more it starts to feel like who you are. The old view held that new brain cell development ended after early adulthood. Research on neurogenesis has overturned that. The adult brain, especially the hippocampus, which governs learning and memory, can generate new neurons throughout life. What decides whether those neurons stick around and integrate? Your actions, physical exercise, new environments, focused, deliberate learning. There is a point in life where learning stops happening automatically and starts requiring effort. That friction, the resistance you feel when you try something new, is not a sign you are broken. It's often the exact trigger the brain needs to change. You are not stuck with the brain you were born with. When you choose new actions, you are not just changing your schedule, you are reshaping your internal structure. You're giving your brain a reason to rewire, grow, and update what it considers normal. The brain does not only build, it also clears out. This is synaptic pruning. It's the brain's use it or lose it system. Think of it like a trail through a forest. The path you walk every day stays clear. The one you stop using vanishes under brush within weeks. When a neural pathway is not being used, the brain gradually weakens and dismantles it, then reallocates those resources elsewhere. The same mechanism that helps you build great habits can also erase them if you stop. That's why you cannot store virtue or discipline like money in a bank. You do not get to cash in yesterday's good choices forever. If you stop enacting your values, the brain pathways that support those values weaken. You are only truly disciplined in the moment you do what a disciplined person does. If the actions stop, the structure fades, even if the self-image stays. This is also why affirmations alone do not hold up. You cannot repeat, "I am disciplined," and expect your nervous system to agree. The thought might feel good, but without action, it does not get reinforced. And if you used to be disciplined, but you stop doing disciplined things, the old wiring starts to decay. The identity becomes an idea instead of a reality. At that point, you do not have discipline. You have a comforting illusion of it. William James, an American philosopher and psychologist, understood this 130 years before the functional MRI. He compared building a habit to winding a ball of string. It takes time and patience to wind, but if you drop it once, it unravels faster than you can wrap it back up. His rule was brutal. Never allow an exception until the habit is securely in place. Not one. Because one slip does not just break your streak. It keeps the old neural highway open. It reactivates the established pathway and keeps the route alive and smooth. Every time you stay consistent, you force the brain to stop using the old path. Over time, the brain begins to dismantle it. The practical takeaway is simple. Consistency beats intensity, especially at the beginning. Hebb's law does not reward occasional, heroic effort. It rewards repetition. This is why the best habit plan starts with a minimal standard that is almost too easy. Something you can do on your worst day, not your best day. The win is not in doing something impressive. The win is in staying unbroken long enough for the brain to rewire. If you are trying to break a bad habit or build a new one, the early goal is not intensity, it's consistency. That is the mechanism that changes your behavior and ultimately changes your brain. William James called habits the enormous flywheel of society. He meant that momentum, once built, is the strongest force in human behavior. But he also meant that a flywheel takes real work to start turning. The first push is the hardest. Every push after that is easier because the wheel is already moving. Your brain does not care about your intentions. It cares about your repetitions. Give it something worth wiring. When you're ready to turn consistency from an idea into a lived experience, start day one inside the Act Score Challenge. Stack the days. Practice the reps that reshape your identity. That's it for today. Catch you next time.